Here's the video on child labor amidst the chaos and noise of Block A3. For this video, we're going to explain your left side at the end after you see a few photographs, and then we'll tell you what it's going to be. So these are not so much notes, but just photos on child labor to highlight the points of how dangerous it was to be a child working during the Industrial Revolution. So as we sort of mentioned in class, that the safety of children was often neglected when they worked in the factories. They were subject to beatings for punishment, and an example is actually sometimes they were weighted if they came, say, late or did a mistake at work. And that means that they had a weight, and they would tie it basically around their neck or their shoulders so that they sort of hunched, and they would have them walk up the aisles of the factory for up to an hour to sort of show, hey, you don't want this to be you. And I mentioned in another video that the Factory Act of 1833 made that you had to be at least 9 years old to work in a factory. But even with this act, a 9 to a 16-year-old could still work up to 16 hours a day in these awful conditions. And it wasn't until 1856 that they limited it to only 60 hours a week, which is still a very long work week. And it wasn't until 1901 in England that they changed the age to age 12. The United States had their version of responses and created the Children's Bureau in 1912. So you can see here whether it was in a factory or in a coal mine, it was dangerous with the machinery, without safety precautions, sometimes without even footwear. Another fact for you, in 1750, at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, 14 of all workers in Britain were under the age of 14. And the 15 and 16-year-olds were basically considered adult workers, basically the people of your age today. So after seeing these videos, for your left side assignment, you have two parts. The first part is to read the handout I gave you on factory life readings. You have to read those readings. Those are all true stories, and there's 13 questions. They don't need to be in complete sentences. They need to be answered. And then also read the poem, the free Enquirer that I gave you, and using that and also using the videos from this video, the photos from this video, you're going to create a Venn diagram comparing child laborers with your life and have 5 points in each of the 3 parts of the Venn diagram. The password is Gazette. See you next class. Ta-da.